Just kind of standing there staring at like Katie's nasty, dirty, disgusting body because they didn't even wipe her out.
What you are watching right now is 28-year-old John Blovelt, an ex-military recruiter, trash-talking his own dead wife. A wife that John killed all because he fell in love with a 17-year-old girl.
Look at her, she's right here.
I want to look at her.
That's your friend.
Well, yeah, me and Hannah were dating.
I don't want to do this anymore.
Don't want to do what? Don't want to help us find out who killed her?
Over the course of 6 years, these two thought they could live the perfect fairy tale after Katie's murder, ruining several lives and fleeing across the country, leaving chaos in their wake. But in the interrogation we have for you today, it all comes crumbling down.
I lost a friend. Maybe not the best wife, but I lost a friend. I don't give a I can get over this.
I'm just going to ask you to be point blank. Did you kill Katie?
October 24th, 2016 was nothing short of a nightmare for Catherine Ann Boyder's family. The 22-year-old had seemingly vanished from her job at a local PetSmart in Simpsonville, South Carolina at the end of her shift, leaving an extended group of friends and family to search for her. Shortly after midnight on the 25th, two of Katie's friends decided to search a nearby abandoned home, one that had been a hangout for local teens for years. But when her friends walked into the basement of this haunting home, they came face to face with the most horrific sight they had ever seen. Katie's body was in the basement, sealed in a cement box. The murder weapon, a knife, was still embedded in her neck. Frantically, her friends called the police, sobbing as they begged for help.
911, what's the location of your emergency?
We found my friend Katie dead in
Okay,
the house.
okay. Are you saying she's dead in the house?
Yes, ma'am.
Is she cold?
She was very pale, and there was no response.
After speaking with Katie's friends, Simpsonville Police Department rushed to the scene to begin their investigation. It didn't take them long to be berated by leads from Katie's friends and family, all pointing to the same suspect. Her estranged husband of just 3 months, John Blovelt. Police went to his job at a nearby army base to deliver the news of his wife's death. Estranged or not, they expected an emotional reaction. The following footage was provided to us by Simpsonville Police Department in Simpsonville, South Carolina, and begins just after they have told John of his wife's death. Doesn't seem to realize that her mom reportedly saying stuff about him on Facebook doesn't make him a victim. It gives him more motive, and therefore makes him even more of a suspect. But you know what's the most suspicious of all? The fact that he suddenly asked for an attorney when detectives showed him the house where her body was found. Yet at this point in time, he shouldn't know that the house is related to her death at all, because it hadn't been released to the public.
That doesn't hold any weight with us one way or another. We have a job to do, and that's all we're doing. And recording you is nothing to put you on blast or anything like that. Okay. It's totally for our benefit, okay?
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm asking for.
Our job is to find out
What happened?
who killed her and bring them to justice. So we're not looking to do anything to you. You know, we'll be here for you because you're, you know, and regardless of your marital status, you still have feelings for her.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to call and ask if I could get an update, but with her mom and shit like that, I don't want to.
I know.
I don't even want to be around. Like, I don't want to accidentally be there at the same time her mom shows up. She fucking shoots me in the face or something. Because that's this shit that she was saying about me, like, had me nervous.
We will kind of let you know where we're going as far as with her from here. We'll do an autopsy today. We will have. I'm about 99% sure we'll have a manner of death today. I can't say that about the cause. It just depends on what we see. Okay. You are her legal next of kin. You guys are still legally married.
Right.
Legal next of kin. Within the same token, her mom, morally, right thing to do would be to allow me to discuss anything with her.
Right. Yeah.
About this death.
Yeah.
Legally, I have to get your permission to do that.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So we'll definitely stay in contact with you.
Stay in contact is one phrase for what detectives are going to do. While initially John was a suspect on their list, after this 20-minute death notification, he's skyrocketed right to the top of it. Because not once has he asked how his estranged wife died or where she was found. Which means General Grumpy Gills here earned himself another interview just a few days later.
We hadn't really had a chance to sit down. I know I talked to you that day when we notified you about her death.
Yeah.
And things are kind of emotional and everything. So we're still working the case, obviously, and trying to figure out who killed her.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked to a bunch of people. We want to give you some time to grieve and, do what you need to do mentally before we brought you in here. But we would like to ask you some questions that maybe you can give us an answer, what we're looking for. So with that in mind, are you willing to talk to us today?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What I have to do is read your rights. We've been doing that with everybody we've been talking to because, anybody could potentially be a suspect.
Right.
Detectives read John his rights. As you're about to discover, it's not his first time hearing them.
Like I said to you before, we just want to get some background information and kind of paint a picture of what we have going on. Okay. Just kind of tell me about when you guys met, how you met.
She worked at the firehouse. Do you know where the recruiting station is? She worked at firehouse right next door.
Okay.
So I was going through some crap with my current marriage. We were kind of on the way out of that marriage. So me and her just kind of met and started dating. I was still living with my wife at the time, and she was dating her boyfriend, and I was dating my girlfriend. So it was kind of a funny situation. I was staying at her house most days during the week at her dad's house. And then we finally got an apartment in December of 2014, I guess it was. Yeah, so that's kind of how we met. We just, we both smoked cigarettes at the time, so we just went out and smoked.
Okay, yeah.
You just meet people through smoke breaks.
And you got married in what year?
2015.
And so I know obviously about the incident that happened between you guys allegedly in January, and then she didn't file a report till February. What made her file a report a month later about something
that was just kind of her personality.
Just get back at you for something she pissed? Or
That was her personality. When she got mad about something, she would act extremely childish until she got her way, and if she didn't get her way, she would just escalate until she got her way.
And they believed her about something that happened a month before?
I got arrested for it.
That's what I'm saying. It's kind of strange.
Whether or not they believed her, I still went away in handcuffs, and I still had to get bailed out of the county. And so whether or not they believed her, it was just a statement.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's just he said, she said.
Yeah. I went away for it. And then, she moved out like the Monday or Tuesday. She moved out in the early week, and by the end of the week, she was back, like with her mom, like clearing out all of her shit. And then when I said, okay, like, bye. Because we had played that game before where she left. She would always come back. Yeah. Well, most of the time she would leave, I would beg her to come back, and she would come back. And then we'd make it another 2 or 3 weeks. And then she would leave, and then I'd beg her to come back. And then I just didn't beg her to come back.
What kind of stuff were y'all arguing about?
Everything.
Just normal.
Just normal stuff.
People stuff.
And then being a recruiter, I talked to a lot of different people. So I had 2 phones, and I talked to a lot of females, and she didn't like that. But that was my job as a recruiter. I had to talk to everybody. Yeah. And she wouldn't like that. So then we'd argue about that. And then one time I just didn't ask her to come back. And she came back like 4 days later with her mom, and they cleared out like all of her stuff up from the house.
So that was how far after your arrest for the domestic violence thing was that? Like a week or 2? Or
no, that was in January. What made her go file in February? Who knows?
Okay. But so she actually moved out when, in February, or even later than that?
She didn't permanently actually move out of that house until about April.
Okay.
But what kicked off the incident in January was she moved out.
Okay.
She moved out, took all her shit, came back, moved out again. I told her that time, just stay gone this time because I don't want you ruining my shit. You're ruining everything in my life. Please stay away. Came back like a week later with the police.
Right. So you guys weren't married long at all?
2 months.
So it's kind of
2 months, and then we made it until March. I called her the night. I know I wasn't supposed to. Don't care. Called her the night I got out of jail, and she sat there and cried on the phone. And she was like, "I didn't know that you were gonna go to jail." And I told her it's okay. I forgive you. I'm a very forgiving guy. I don't give a shit. I can get over this. I know who she was. She had the shortest fuse on the phone. It wasn't even a fuse. It was one of those things you just pull it. It just explodes. That was her personality. That's the personality. That's the person I knew. And I told her it's okay. That's fine. I'll take you back. I don't care. Let's just move on. And that lasted about 2 more months, probably till about the end of April into June, or I guess that would have been May.
Yeah. Does Hannah work, or where's she do?
She works in the mall. JCPenney's in the mall.
Now, does she live with you full time, or is it kind of?
It's on and off. She stays when she wants.
Okay. She live with her parents otherwise?
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's a lot to break down here. Firstly, let's talk about Hannah. Now, Hannah was a 17-year-old high school student that John met while he was recruiting teens at a local high school. After she claimed to be having problems at home, John invited her, along with another teenager, Allie, to live with him, stating he wanted to be a good influence on them. Strange that he only let female teenagers move in with him, isn't it? Kind of makes you think that it wasn't about being a good influence at all. Now, after Hannah and Allie moved in, Katie, who was disgusted and infuriated that John was turning their marital home into a party space for teens, left. And just 2 weeks after, Hannah's father reported her missing. When police arrived, they had a 4-hour standoff with John, who refused to come outside. After he finally gave in, he was charged with contributing to the delinquency of a minor. Truthfully, he should have had way more charges. Katie was brought in and questioned about his relationship with Hannah. While at the station, she mentioned that John had pulled a gun on her and threatened to kill her, which was ultimately the final straw in her leaving. Police were legally obligated to file a report on this, which is what ultimately then got John arrested for domestic violence. So although John wants to continuously paint Katie as someone out to get him for no reason, remember this: Katie was innocent, and John was an abuser and a...
But we broke contact because she was dating already. Like, she's already been dating dudes. So I'm like, just move on. Like, leave me alone.
Right.
But I still get random texts, in the morning.
Apparently, he found out he liked teenage girls.
Was anybody home when you got home?
Just Crystal and Brandon.
Okay.
And I had heard she was supposed to go to the Sullivan Center that morning. So she was already with me. Because she's up there trying to get her GED.
Oh, Hannah was with you?
Yeah. She's the one who drove me home.
From work?
Yeah. Because she was supposed to go to the Sullivan Center, and then we forgot because it was getting late anyway. And then we went home.
What car did you drive home?
My Prius.
Okay, so you went to work in the morning, and she dropped you off and took the Prius, or?
No, she was with. I don't know what the hell she does, but most times she's either walks around downtown or she sits in the car.
All right.
Yeah. Whenever she needs to go up there, she just rides. And then she was supposed to go to the Sullivan Center. Didn't, I guess. And then.
Okay. So you guys got home around 3 roughly.
Yeah.
Brandon and
Crystal
were there. And what did Hannah do while you were running with Marley?
Whatever she does, watch TV, video games.
Okay. What happened after that, after you're done running?
We went and met my friend Scott to get some money that he owes me.
So it was you and Hannah that went and met him?
Yeah.
What time was that roughly?
I don't know. It was later. It was dark.
So dark's about 7-ish.
Yeah.
Roughly.
I guess.
Did you go anywhere before that?
No.
Okay. So did you meet him and eat dinner, or did you just hang out?
I ate. We ate while we waited for him, and then he showed up, dropped me some cash, and he left.
What's the payment plan, or is he?
As he can get it, yeah. I didn't never expect to hear from him again. After he crashed my car, I stopped talking to him. I left his rear on the side of the road. Goodbye. Crashed my car, dude. You stole my car, and then you crashed it, so I'm not talking to him. And that was like, I think it was a month or 2 ago. And then he just started calling me like last week, and he's like, I'm in Greenville, I got money. I was like, okay, cool. Let me go get some money.
That night, somebody says you and Hannah were putting some trash from a bag, like a trash bag in the back of the Prius.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember doing that?
Oh, yeah.
What was that about?
Marley had like the most explosive shit on the floor and stunk up the whole house. Threw out like 4 towels. It was disgusting. And then Crystal left it for me to clean up. So, because it was like watery, nasty, I had to get like 3 or 4 towels to clean it up, plus the Swiffer, plus like dump bleach on the floor. So, yeah, it was pretty nasty.
Okay. So why'd you put it in the car?
To take it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, our trash is always filled up. We used to have this entertainment center. I just chopped it up, so it was like the trash can was full.
So you took that when you went to go to Zaxby's? Or?
Yeah, we're just gonna throw it out on the way.
Okay.
Just a dumpster.
All right.
This is really taking blaming the dog to a new level, because as you've guessed, those trash bags weren't full of dog crap, but his story is full of bull crap. Hannah and John were caught on camera dumping trash bags in multiple different trash cans. Trash bags that contained the clothes worn during the crime, weapons used in the crime, and any other evidence that could link John to the murder of Katie. Katie did reach out to John a few times despite the protective order against him. Why? Because he still had possession of her beloved dog Jupiter. When Katie was finally able to take custody of her dog away from John, John held on to anything he owned that belonged to Jupiter, including the records. Which, although detectives say are easy to get, are not. The records are considered confidential and can only be given to someone who is the owner of the account at the vet's office. In this case, John.
We've heard a little bit about this abandoned house, that it was a hangout for a lot of these younger kids and whatnot.
Mhm.
You've been there before?
Yeah.
Okay. When was the last time you were there?
Probably a few months ago.
Okay. And who you were there with at the time?
I don't know. It's normally like a group of people, so it's always gonna be the same group. But I just don't know who was in the group at that time.
So generally, name some of the people that would be there, not particularly at that time. But just
Cheyenne would be there, Allie would be there, Hannah would be there, I would be there, Wayne would be there, maybe Cameron, maybe Kimani. That's it from our little group that I can think of.
where would you guys park when you hung out there?
That gravel, when we first started going, like back January, like last January, when they first showed it to me, that brush used to be cleared out so you could drive right up in there.
Okay.
And then nobody would be able to see your car, so you wouldn't have to worry about people messing with you.
Yeah. Where would you guys hang out? In the house, outside the
Like
house?
in the living room.
I'm just gonna hang out.
Been in the attic a couple of times. Because there's like a crawl space hole. I think it's not crawl space, but like a hole. One of the closets you can climb up in the attic and hang out there. That's kind of stable. Mostly in the living room because the rest of the house seems like at any moment it's gonna collapse.
Yeah. You ever been down the stairs in the basement?
Nah.
Okay.
That kind of because the one side's all flooded out, and then you can only climb down, and then the other stairs is like missing, like the last step, and it's all like, oh,
Sketchy.
you can feel it. I don't know if you've gone down there, but you can feel it like every step,
Okay.
like wobbling back and forth. It's
So
like you don't know how you're gonna get back up.
So you never decide to get out and check it out.
No, hell no.
Okay.
Because you don't never know how you're gonna get back up.
Don't blame me for that.
Just a reminder, this is a 28-year-old Army man who owns a house. Why did he feel the need to go to an abandoned house to hang out with teenagers? Well, sadly, we all know the answer to that question. To make matters even worse, John would frequently provide these teenagers with not just the green, if you catch my drift, but he would give them all the snow they wanted. Essentially, he brought a blizzard everywhere he went, as long as there were teens there that he could impress with it, which is disgusting on its own. But what's even more disgusting is what he repeatedly told these teenagers. Do you know how narcissistic you have to be to say that the woman you killed wouldn't want you to be upset? In reality, John didn't know or care what Katie wanted in life. He was much too focused on what he wanted, a 17-year-old. If he did care at all what Katie wanted, he would have stopped when she said her final words. "If you let me go, I won't go to the police." Instead, he stabbed her in the neck. Most people in interrogations at least show an ounce of compassion for the dead. John, however, would rather show buckets and buckets of hatred, anger, and resentment. His disdain for Katie is palpable, which is only made more disgusting when you hear from others about how kind, caring, funny, and warm Katie was. She didn't end things with John because she was an evil succubus, like he wants to paint her as. She ended it because she could no longer handle being near a 28-year-old man who was inviting teenagers over to party and do drugs in the home that she dreamt of raising children in.
I don't know how much you know about cell phones and stuff like that, but as you go around, your cell phone's constantly
Picking up the tower.
searching for
Yeah.
signals and stuff like that.
Right.
So with that said, is there anything, going back to last Monday, is there anything that you've told me that your cell phone records would say otherwise?
I don't believe so.
Okay. You don't believe so, or definitely not?
Definitely not.
Okay.
There's a difference.
Okay, well,
I don't know.
Just so we're all clear here, John is furious that Katie, his ex, is on Tinder while he is actively engaged in a relationship with Hannah, and is on Tinder himself. The irony of that is clearly lost on him. But what makes it even worse is the fact that John didn't just know Katie was on Tinder, he knew every person that she was meeting up with, because he recruited Hannah to stalk Katie and find out who she was seeing and when. This may just be one of the most satisfying moments we've ever covered. Despite the fact that detectives give him nearly 2 minutes to pull numbers from his phone, which they have no legal obligation to do, he decides to put up a fight. And when detectives do finally get a chance to look at the phone, it's clear why.
All right, you got all the numbers you need?
I'm just waiting for it to lock.
Okay, all right, I'll go ahead. I need the phone. Like I said, we got a search warrant.
Okay.
Okay, so go ahead and hand the phone over to me.
Where's the warrant at?
Oh, it's right here. Go get a copy of it in just a second.
I just want to see it before I do it. Shit.
Search warrant for your phone.
I'm sorry, I watch TV too.
Most time. List your phone number.
Cell phone.
Like color cell phone, unknown manufacturer, Blum John Blauvelt, gives your date of birth and the assigned telephone number. That's signed by Judge Dean Ford.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
Police read John the warrant for the seizure of his car and phone, detailing all of the evidence we've gone over, as John shakes his head in disbelief. Though, even given the evidence against him, John seems more mad about perceived transgressions that teenagers have made.
Or should I send that text message to Australia?
What text message?
She hadn't talked to me since Tuesday, and then I told her I was going through some shit. And my PTSD was bothering me and stuff like that. And she just decided to like completely blow me off. So that shit kind of hurts, man.
You said you wish you hadn't sent her that
I wish
message?
I had.
Sent her what message?
She sent like a thumbs up a few hours ago.
A few hours ago today?
Yeah.
In response to what?
In response to nothing, she just sent me a thumbs up. And I was like, what? That's okay. You can't leave somebody out to dry for 4 days and then come back
Hand me my cell phone.
and then be like, thumbs up, we're cool.
That's what that meant? Oh.
Either, because if you send somebody a thumbs up, you're sarcastic and say, okay. Like,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
It's just that it's been 4 days since I talked to her. So, I don't know. I mean, you're a female. You can tell me. What's a thumbs up mean 4 days in?
Is it in response to something or like on a picture or? I have no idea.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
So she hasn't talked to you and then all of a sudden she sends that to you?
She hadn't talked to me since Tuesday.
And you said you wish you had sent her a message. Well, what
I
would
wish
you?
I had sent her the message. I typed out a big message like, you can't drop people like that. You can't drop friends like that. And then 4 days later, be like, oh, we're cool. No, dude. Not when people really have shit going on in their head. Not when people are really like, I was there for her, you know, and she made no attempt to be there for me. I went through the same shit everybody else went through. She didn't make no attempt to be it. Nobody told me about the viewing. I had to find out all this shit on my own. And then you want to come back to me and be like, hey, we're cool. No, we're not. That shit hurts, man. Everybody knows I ain't got no family. Just me.
Now, soon after John was interrogated, 17-year-old Hannah was brought in. And although she didn't crack, she showed many, many more emotions than John did.
You do not want to get wrapped up in catching a murder charge.
Right.
You're 17 years old. You have your entire life ahead of you.
Mm-hmm.
You may love John and you may think you two are going to get married and walk down the yellow brick road. Okay? But no man and no woman is worth going to prison for.
Mm-hmm.
Do you agree?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
If you know something and you're trying to cover up for it, you're going to go down with the person who did this to her. For knowing anything, whether it was beforehand or after the fact, you're going to go down with them.
Desperate to get her to break, detectives showed Hannah a photo of Katie's body.
Look at her. She's right
I
here.
don't want to look at her.
That's your friend.
I don't want to do this anymore.
Don't want to do what? Don't want to help us find out who killed her?
Can I please leave? Can I please leave?
Hannah, this is a friend of yours that
I
we're trying
know,
to do.
and I want to help, but I
Well,
can't.
listen.
Ultimately, despite two very different, although very damning interrogations, both Hannah and John were released as detectives went through John's phone and car, and they took that opportunity to flee.
Case of murder and a missing persons report. Police say a man accused of killing his wife is connected to both.
Investigators say the suspect is an Army recruiter now considered AWOL and possibly with his teenage girlfriend.
John and Hannah fled across the country in his vehicle. Just a few days after a warrant for his arrest was issued, they were spotted on camera in New Mexico, over 1,000 miles away from Simpsonville. But then, they vanished. Police were at a loss. Due to John's training in the military, he knew how to evade capture. And though he had passed that test, he wasn't passing any IQ tests. Because for some reason, he believed that he and Hannah could survive in the mountains of Oregon together with no money. After getting his car stuck in the mud on a remote trail, the two were forced to hike to Medford, where they started begging for cash. And very quickly, Hannah decided the fugitive life wasn't for her. She called police in Simpsonville, begging for a ticket back home. So, ride or die? Not exactly. When she arrived in Simpsonville, she told police the route they had taken and their plan, but that was all. Until 6 years later, when John was still missing, and Hannah's conscience got the best of her.
John is not a good person, obviously. And we are trying desperately to find him. Okay. So if it was yesterday you spoke with him, if it was 2 weeks ago you spoke with him, we need to know that. Okay. It's not any different in my mind if you spoke with him 20 minutes before you walked in the door today or 2 years ago. But we're still looking for him. And he needs to be held responsible for what he's done.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you again, and I want the full, honest truth. Okay. Because I don't want to do this in another 6 years where you come back and tell me, well, actually, I was talking to him the day before I talked to you. Okay. So if it was yesterday, if it was 2 weeks ago, if it was a year ago, 5 months ago, I need to know the very last time you spoke with him and what that conversation was about.
I really, really, really feel like it was in 2019. I don't remember the exact time. I just feel like it was in 2019 at the first 6 months of it. I don't remember. I know I'm giving a really broad time, but that's just, I don't want to give any misinformation because I know that this is really, really serious and that I'm the only one that would know this. And we had been talking less. At first we were talking every single day, multiple times, for hours a day. And we had been talking less at this point. And so I was the one that stopped communication with him. And I had just decided to do it. I didn't tell him I'm not gonna talk to you anymore, I don't think. And so I think the conversation was pretty no substance to it really. Just maybe a hey, how are you?
Where was he back then?
I know that he was living with somebody who, a girl that he said that they were dating.
Hannah revealed that over the past 6 years, she had been talking to John secretly as he began a whole new life in Medford, Oregon. After some convincing, she gave detectives details that led him to this man, Ben Klein. John had created an entire new identity, calling himself Ben and starting a new life with pets, a girlfriend, and a job as a handyman. He never expected police to knock on his door. And when they did, ambushing him as he stepped outside of his home in Medford, he wasn't the only one who was shocked. His girlfriend, whose name has not been released, was crushed.
So he's being arrested on charges out of South Carolina for murder.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I can't believe it. This is nightmare. I'm sorry. We've been together for 6 years.
Along with forensic evidence linking him to the crime, more disturbing details came to light during testimony. John's teenage victims were now adults, and they wanted the truth out there. One testified that John had a to-do list on his fridge at the time of the murder. The number one to-do? Get rid of Katie. Ultimately, at trial, John was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole for the murder of his ex-wife, Katie. Hannah, however, ended up with a slap on the wrist. She took a plea deal, pleading guilty to obstruction of justice and concealing a felony. earning 3 years of probation. Our hearts go out to Katie's family, all who knew her, and all who loved her. Thank you for watching today's video. Whether you're new here or have been with us for a while, check out one of the craziest cases I've ever covered right here, or one of my newest uploads right here.